Alright, so I just wanted to say hello and welcome to my fabulous backyard. So if you hear the noise in the back, that's just the sound of the pool. And I wanted to do this outside, get a little change of venue, because I was asked to participate in the Kawaii Melanin collaboration that a lot of black YouTubers are participating in. So I wanted to make this a little bit special since this is a special topic. Um, Disclaimer. So if you do not know me, my name is Achan, and I've been in the Lolita community for, I realize, 18 years, which is a very long time. So I've had my YouTube channel for probably about, I've had this YouTube channel since 06, 07, I want to say 06. But I didn't really start really hardcore doing videos until probably about 2015. So, yes, normally if you know my antics and my shenanigans, I'm kind of loud, kind of obnoxious, very foul-mouthed. But I promised myself for this collaboration video, I would not do any of that. So, since that was my tiny introduction, I want to say thank you for allowing me to participate in this auspicious occasion. I'm sorry that it has to come on the heels of such turmoil with the George Floyd situation and the dire need for systemic change and the way we even have a conversation about race, because it's just not been good. So I'm going to set my scepter aside. Here's my notebook that I'm going to read the questions for, and we're going to get started. So, question number 1. How do you maintain confidence as a black Lolita? Okay, I kind of have a policy of I don't care what people think of me, and I know that kind of sounds real simplistic on its face, and it is a rather simplistic way of going around the world, or going about the world. And I've been kind of having this ideology that life is too short to worry about what people think of you and to worry about the negative perceptions people have of you. People are always going to have negative perceptions of you. So for me, my clothes kind of shield me from that. My overall viewpoint is, if you don't like the way I look, then you are free to not look at me. So I have a kind of militant attitude about myself, because I had been in situations where I've been gossiped about my weight and about a lot of different things. So my confidence just stems from the fact that after a while, after all that heavy scrutiny and worrying and caring and like getting bent out of shape about how people perceive me, I had to come to the realization I don't care. So, and it's how I kind of shield myself from scrutiny when people are like, why are you dressed like that? And I'll talk a little bit more about that, because there's a question that further addresses that. But that's kind of how I shield myself from harsh criticism. And plus, I just look at myself in the mirror, like, I feel like, as I said on my wedding day, I feel like an attaché case filled with $100 bills. So if you can have a day where you look at yourself and you feel like an attaché case filled with $100 bills, that is a good day. So that is how I maintain my confidence. Natural hair in Lolita. Wearing wigs can be annoying. So what are some ways to style hair in Lolita without the use of wigs? Full disclosure, my hair that you always see me in is a wig. I always wear wigs because, full disclosure, I am very lazy at my core. Indolence is my core. Laziness, just sheer abject laziness, and I don't feel like dealing with my hair on a daily basis. Plus, I live in Florida, and I will tell you a quick story. My husband watched me wash my hair and straighten it for 2 hours. Actually, I think it was 2.5 hours. And then we were gonna go out, and we went out, and by the time we pretty much got to where we were going, my hair was all frizzy and like, he's like, it looked like you didn't even bother straightening. I was like, now you know why I wear wigs all the time. And he kind of stopped bothering me about it because he's like, you have such lovely hair. Why do you wear your hair out? After watching me straighten my hair for 2.5 hours, it just frizzed, and he was just like, aw. But it's not that he doesn't like my hair when it's frizzy. It's just he wanted my hair to be that lovely straight that it was, and it's not going to happen. It's just, I live in a land of perpetual humidity. I look all dewy and lovely right now, but part of it is sweat because it's 1,000 degrees outside, and I'm wearing Butterfly Princess, and I'm on fire. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. I wear wigs all the time, so the heat kind of doesn't bother me. Now, that's not to say that I disparage Lolitas that wear their natural hair. I have seen plenty of Lolitas wearing their natural hair or wearing braids, and they make that work with their cords. You just have to find what is good for your aesthetic that you're going for in Lolita, and if you want to wear your natural hair, I say do it. And also, there's also clip-in extensions if you want to do that and you don't really want to damage your hair too much. So if you don't really want to damage your hair too much, clip-in extensions could also be a good alternative. Instead of spending, I've spent $250 plus $50 in tips, so like $300 on getting weaves, and it's a pricey proposition. But if you want to wear your natural hair, I am not going to be one to disparage you and say it doesn't look right, because I've seen too many black Lolitas rocking their real hair and their natural hair to not say that, oh, that looks terrible. So I don't know where people get the idea that you can't have curly hair or very curly hair and be a Lolita. It's just weird justifications that people try to bar people of color from participating in the fashion, and I don't like things like that, and they very much annoy me. So yeah, you can wear your natural hair, you can wear clip-in extensions, you can wear ponytail extensions, because some days when I don't feel like being bothered with my wigs, I actually wear a ponytail. So there's a myriad, a host of things that you can do to your hair that you can make match the Lolita aesthetic. You don't have to be relegated and subjugated to just wearing a pastel wig. So, and personally, I like human hair wigs. All my wigs are human hair. I've been on all human hair for the last 2 years, just because I find them a lot easier to deal with, and synthetic wigs get kind of janky after a while. So you can do a lot more with human hair. You can dye it, you can curl it. I can pretty much abuse this wig, and I know I'm gonna get another wig in like 3-4 months. So that's the reason the other reason I like wigs, and I especially like human hair wigs, because they're, for me, a lot easier to deal with than destroying my own hair with color and bleach and hot and heat and just all kinds of stuff. So, but if you want to rock the Lolita aesthetic, I am going to post links to some of what I feel, because I don't know how to edit. I'm going to post links to people that I've seen do really killer Lolita in their natural hair. So take notes from them. I'm sorry I can't be of more assistance with that particular topic, but there are those who do it. So, and it's not a discouraging factor. Don't ever let your hair, or with some ridiculous thing some person said, be a discouraging factor. So, what sparked your interest in the fashion? That's question 3. So, I always tell this story because it's actually part of who I am as a whole. My mother would tell you, if my mother was sitting here, she would tell you, from the time that I realized I could twirl around in a dress, I was hooked on Lolita. I was hooked on dresses. So from the age of probably about birth, or probably about maybe, I think she said I figured out I could twirl around in a dress when I was like 1.5, 2. So from that point on, pretty much I've been hooked on dresses. I kind of stopped wearing dresses because when I grew up, when I was a little kid, I was in a very diverse area. My very first best friend was Pakistani. So I grew up with a lot of diversity, but then we moved to a primarily African-American area, so my dress and kind of demeanor had to change, so, which is sad to say, but pretty much. And then like in the 90s, there wasn't a lot of really pretty dresses. Like I remember there was like the color block dresses in like the very early 90s. But then in like 92, 93, 94, Empire waist became like a thing, and I had a couple of Empire waist dresses that I used to love. My best friend, she gave me this plaid jumper skirt she had, and I loved that to death. And when the Clueless preppy look came through, I jumped on that. So I've always been into like dresses and skirts and very feminine styles. So when I got a hold of a Gothic Lolita Bible in 2002, which is what started all of this, I was like, people can dress like this? And I can dress like that too? So that's gonna happen. And it happened, and that's how I became acquainted with the fashion. And lo and behold, 18 years later, I am still a massive ball of fluff. In fact, my wardrobe, my whole wardrobe, singularly even the regular clothes that I wear, they have gone into all dresses. And some of the styles that I wear are like free people dresses. I have a crap load of free people dresses. I have Chelsea and Violet dresses. I just like a very feminine look because, as I like to say, I am, at my core, I am very, very fruity. So I just like frilly things. So that's how I got acquainted with the Lolita fashion, and that's what sparked my interest. It already appealed to that need to be fruity, so it just worked. What's an example of a positive interaction with other Lolitas you've had regarding your race? Okay. So it took a while for me to think about this, and this goes back to when I was in Germany last year. Last year, my husband and I took a trip to Germany, and there's still a possibility we may be moving actually to Germany. And we only got in for a day, but we went to a German anime con called Animagic. And in trying to get into Animagic, they had sold out for like the first 2 days, so we could only get in the third day. But in getting that, I had been getting a lot of side-eye from a lot of German Lolitas, and it didn't dawn on me till I thought about this question a little while ago, why I was getting side-eye. I was getting side-eye because of my race. And it took me almost a year to realize that, which is just kind of crazy because especially when I'm in a foreign country, I'm already a foreigner, so it doesn't dawn on me that people see my ethnicity first. I always think people see my nationality. I think people see me as an American first, and I try to blend in as much as possible, especially when I'm in a foreign country. So I just thought they saw me as an American, like, look at this American coming in here wearing Lolita, how dare she? But it was probably I was getting side-eye because of my race. And when I realized that, when I thought about this question, I was like, oh, well, that's their problem, not mine. So, and that was like the negative experience. But when I got into Animagic, me and my husband were walking around, looking around the dealer's room, and these two German Lolitas walked up, and they were just saying, oh my God, you're so pretty. And first they were speaking in German, and I was like, I turned and I faced them, and they looked so cute. And you can see their pictures on my Instagram. And I was like, they were talking to me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't speak German well. And then they started speaking in English, and they were just like, my God, you look so beautiful. It's so pretty. And that was a positive experience I had as a black Lolita in a foreign country that was not my home country. That was a very positive experience. And it left me feeling like, hey, I can probably get along okay in Germany and not have to feel like stupid American. So yeah, that was probably the nicest experience I had as a Lolita. And like I said, when I was getting side-eyed, it was more the thought that, look at this stupid American and not look at this black lady. So, oh well. I mean, it was good to meet those other two nice young ladies, and they were awesome. And they really enjoyed looking at I had on royal corgis, so they really enjoyed how I looked. So that was pretty rad. So, this is the last question. what were some of your fears in starting in Lolita? Okay, so my starting in Lolita is going to be quite a bit different than a lot of people. Again, I've been in the fashion for 18 years. 18 years. I realized this two Lolita vlogs ago. And when I got started because a former friend of mine had a Gothic Lolita Bible. And like I said, I saw it and was like, that's happening. So after I said that was happening and I started looking into it, it was 2002. Nobody was rocking brand. Nobody had any clue, like, of chords and how to, like, you pretty much had to just go by sort of what you saw on or in a Gothic Lolita Bible. The fashion was brand ass new to us, so it was just kind of like, sorry, the fashion was new to us, so we were just all kind of, okay, I gotta pause a second. I think somebody's in my backyard. Hold on. I apologize. I think somebody was there, but I don't know. So, and now my dog is all nervous, so she's gonna be in it for a little bit. I am so sorry. So, I started in 2002. The barrier of entry to Lolita was extremely low. It was really, really low, and there were no fears. It was just, if you even saw another Lolita, it was just like, oh, wait, it's one of you. Wait, let's hang out together, because there's, like, no one else like me. And it was just real, like, low bar entry. So I never had any fears or apprehensions or even a second thought of, I shouldn't do this. Not that I ever would, because it is just my natural personality to just be like, no, I want to do what I want, and you're going to figure out how to be okay with that. So, but that's just my personality. I know a lot of people like, well, black people really shouldn't. You should. You shouldn't let anything stop you. About the only thing I could say that would be a hardcore barrier to entry in this fashion is the cost, because it is very pricey. So, but your ethnicity and even your religious background should not stop you if this is what you want to do. So, barriers to entry were low. I don't have those same, like, maybe I shouldn't, partway due to when I got into it, partway due to my own personality. So I just always try to encourage people who are interested in the fashion to build up your courage, build up your self-esteem, and then you can start the building blocks of a very good wardrobe. So, and it takes time, it takes practice, talk to people. Those are just my general things. But I never ever want anybody to feel like their ethnicity should stop them from doing this fashion. Maybe a dog might stop you because she is parked on my dress, but other than that, you shouldn't let something like ethnicity stop you. I have said this multiple times. Lolita is just clothes. Your clothes are not going to sit in your closet and tell you, oh, you can't wear me because you're black, or you can't wear me because you're Latinx, or you can't wear me because you're male. You can wear whatever you want. It's just clothes. Clothes do not judge, people do. So if this makes you happy and it feels good to you, do it. Don't ever let anything stop you from being, as I say, the weird and wonderful you that you are. So, and I have a bonus question on here. So, what is your opinion of skin lightening features from camera filters such as snow and line, etc.? The Maytu app incident. Okay, we can put my book down now. The Maytu app incident. So, back in 2017, I kept seeing all this, oh, get the Maytu app because it smooths out your hair and it does, like, really cool things. And I was like, I'll try it. And I had came back from a Lolita meetup, and our house was for sale at that point. So I was sitting in the car because I knew some realtor was bringing people over to our old house. And I was like, I had to sit in my car, so I got the Maytu app and I started playing with it. And when I played with it, it completely devoid me of all skin tone, and it like squunched in my nose a little bit more. Not that I have like a weird nose, but it squunched in my nose a little more, and it like diminished my lips. it basically robbed me of my ethnicity. And I hated it. I was so angry at that act. I still, the video is up. I guess I'll post a link to it. But it was just uncalled for. It's nothing wrong with being darker complected. And I know I have covered colorism on my channel a few times. And no, it's one of the things that I will always rail against and stand up for people who are a darker complexion of person. You are not a bad person if you have darker skin. Yeah, you can smooth out people's skin. Don't drain them of their ethnicity. It is a part of who they are. It might not be the definition of who they are, but it is part of who they are, and just as a human being, you are deserving of that recognition. So no, I don't like stuff where they drain your ethnicity out of you, because it's ridiculous. And you should be proud of who you are. Be proud of your ethnicity. Don't ever feel ashamed of being darker complected, because that is literally nothing to be ashamed of. So, and if anybody tries to disparage you about having a darker skin tone, you kind of got to wonder what is wrong in their lives that they feel like they need to try to bring you down by pointing to your skin tone as a problem, as a problematic thing, because it's not. So, thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to participate in this collab. I will post links to the first half, which took place on June 19th, which was Juneteenth. I will post the playlist for that in my description. Subscribe if you care to. Like I said, I'm very subdued, so this is not normally how I am. Like I said, I'm way more loud, way more obnoxious, and way more like swear happy. But for this, I wanted to keep it, family friendly. So that is all I have, and I will see you guys at a later point. All right, later.